From taking inspiration from JFK's funeral, yes, you heard that right, to the hidden meaning of the handmaids' costumes and even the subtle transformation of Aunt Lydia, here are some things only true fans noticed in The Handmaid's Tale Season 5. Let's start off with a scene inspired by JFK's funeral. The Season 4 finale of The Handmaid's Tale was, without a doubt, one of the most satisfying moments in the entire show. We're also certain that there will be more moments like this in the 5th installment and the 6th final one. Yes, the show has been renewed for yet another season that will put a conclusion to the addictive story. As you clearly remember, Fred Waterford's funeral was featured in The Handmaid's Tale Season 5 Episode 2. Shortly before the premiere of Season 5, showrunner Bruce Miller told Insider that he drew inspiration from John F. Kennedy's 1963 funeral for the sequence in which Fred's body was laid in Gilead. What you missed for sure is that Kennedy's widow, Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis, and Fred Waterford's widow, Serena Joy Waterford, wore similar outfits and veils. But there are a lot of similarities in this scene, including, as Insider marks, the riderless horse featured in the funeral scenes that was a nod to the riderless horse in Kennedy's funeral procession. In the same interview, Miller said, "Also, I love the fact that for most part, the First Lady was walking alone, not with anybody, no one is escorting her. And that made it feel so bare and raw that she was just this sad woman out there on her own, not being comforted by anybody." In the scene with Fred's funeral, Serena Joy Waterford also walks alone with no one to hold her hand. The creators put so much work into this scene that you can easily miss all those details. For instance, they also made sure the weather is appropriate for such a scene. The executive producer said that when they filmed the scene, the world was cold and gray. They decided to use this and add snow, just for a better atmosphere. The episode's title, Ballad, was definitely one of the most intense episodes from the series, with the much anticipated war between June and Serena setting its core. As for Season 6, being the last installment, Miller also confirmed that the show will reach its pivot point in the 5th season. There are hundreds of theories regarding the finale of Season 5, with most of them cantering around Serena being served what she deserves. Some fans believe it's time for her to become a handmaid. What do you guys think? Also, according to Miller, you need to smash that like button if you haven't done it already. Now let's talk about a multi-talented person who works really hard on the set of The Handmaid's Tale. Several months ago, Miller was asked about the conclusion of the series, and he said, "I'll do the show as long as Elisabeth Moss is involved in it." As viewers know, Moss plays the protagonist of the show, June Osborne, and she returned to reprise her role in the 5th installment. But that's not all. The actress also works as an executive producer and director on the Hulu series. The first 3 episodes of The Handmaid's Tale serve as the most intense premiere in the entire history of cinema, and one of those episodes includes a scene that Moss directed. This is also the actress's favorite scene. The 5th installment of the series continues right after the 4th one stopped in the aftermath of Fred Waterford's death. June is still covered in blood, but she leaves her house to meet the people who helped her with her plan. June and some fellow handmaids meet for a feast. They eat their breakfast while Dolly Parton's Get Unhappy plays in the background. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Moss directed this incredible scene. This scene also proves that June is not as scared as we thought she would be. In fact, June wants Serena and all those people who support Gilead and the awful regime to go after her. The guilt that she feels is very palpable, and she wants to be punished. She wants someone to tell her what's right and what's wrong, Moss told THR regarding her character's uncertain future, adding that, coming out of Gilead, she has a very skewed idea of what's right and what's wrong, and of violence and when it's right and when it's wrong, having not only been the victim of violence, but witnessing it so many times. Now let's talk about the hidden meaning in the red costumes. The color red has been shown in a lot of scenes throughout the show, and it shouldn't come as a surprise that this color has a significant meaning. Based on the plot of the series, the fact that the handmaids are used as baby-making machines whenever their time of the month comes to an end, the color red is actually used as part of Gilead's social stratification, meaning that a woman is a handmaid who must wear red robes, brown boots, and a white headpiece called wings. Whenever you see the handmaids wearing red, that means that Gilead wants to mark them as fertility. imitating menstrual blood, but the Gilead people also use red in order to find a missing handmaid easier. If she goes on the run, it would be easier for them to find her if she's wearing a red robe. What do you guys think of when you see red in The Handmaid's Tale? Let us know before we move on to the most reliable theory regarding the show's upcoming episodes.
Our Lord, we will build an earth.
Aunt Lydia turns against Gilead. Following the finale of Season 4 and the confirmation that Season 6 will be the last one, more and more fans have started noticing the subtle change in Aunt Lydia's character, especially at the beginning of Season 5. The premiere of the show revealed an unseen relationship between Aunt Lydia and Janine. They're back together and the dynamic between the two has changed. After Janine was unable to escape across the Canadian border, she was once again taken back to Aunt Lydia so that she can watch over her. While there have been some tender moments between these two over the course of the show, Aunt Lydia's perspective changes a lot after Janine recovers from Esther's attempted poisoning. In an interview with ET, Brewer says that what happened in the already released episodes sets up something very important. The transformation of Aunt Lydia is a much anticipated moment because in the sequel to The Handmaid's Tale, titled The Testaments, Aunt Lydia is the one who puts an end to Gilead once and for all. But is this moment getting featured in The Handmaid's Tale? Well, we don't know yet. Maybe the show will feature the beginning of this transformation, which will set the plot for the upcoming Hulu show, The Testaments. In the already released episodes, Esther turns against Janine by poisoning her with the similar chocolate treats that Esther's new commander tried to give her in a very unsettling and disturbing scene. The fact that Esther tried to end Janine's life gets to Lydia, who's now taking care of Janine. And it's this moment that sets the whole thing going off for her that's important. Brewer said in an interview with ET, explaining what Lydia felt, adding that Aunt Lydia for all these seasons now pretty much has operated with the idea that this is God's will and we're enforcing God's will and this will help these girls. The 5th installment is expected to change the dynamic of a lot of characters. According to Hulu, you need to smash that subscribe button and notification bell so you'll never miss any of our videos in the future. No, seriously, here's what Dowd thinks of her character and her character's uncertain future. What started as, alright, I gotta look after her, it's my duty now, gradually turned into, my goodness, I love this child, she's my own, and that changes everything. See you in the next video.